Good morning, everyone. Sorry, we're a little late per usual. Jennifer, I'm always like, you need to be the one that goes on. And she's like, no, I'm not. No, not me. Um, Hi, friends. So, yes, this is our last Bosses and Breakfast of 2021. Hi.
Ooh, okay, sorry.
No worries.
Oh shoot, my sound. What's
Me
happening?
too.
Sorry, I had to put on some glasses to make myself more presentable. Okay. Annika, nope, don't like that. Yeah, well, Annika, you're in our mastermind, so you'll see us just as often, you know? It's just we won't be doing Bosses and Breakfast. Not to worry, everybody. We will have the podcast twice a week per usual. You'll have emails from us per usual. You will be on Instagram per usual. It's just that we are finishing up this season of Bosses and Breakfast. Oh shoot. Okay, sorry. Good morning, everybody. What are you all drinking? Oh, I know. Well, we'll still be find us on Instagram. We'll probably be on there. We'll probably be on there. It's just we're gonna focus on well, our masterminders as well as just the end of the year stuff, just kind of kicking it into gear. So we'll still be working for sure. It's just Buses and Breakfast will kick into a new season January 2022. So that'll be really exciting. Okay, got it. My headphones. I did some rearranging in my office, and I gotta tell you, it's been, I don't know, challenging. Teresa says she got her coffee cup and her Starbucks treat. That's awesome. Yeah, actually, mental note, I was going to bring you up how you had doubled your, that's actually what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to save that comment for later. Save my thinking about Teresa Fox for later. Because I wanted to share how we all could be looking at, what we're going to be talking about today is how we all should be looking at how our Black Friday went, whether that was good or whether it was bad. It doesn't matter. It's the point is really about logging it and auditing it. So then next year it will be better, whether it was your best ever or whatever it is. So that's kind of what our train of thought is going to be for today. Hey,
If we ever had a reason that we couldn't do Bosses and Breakfast for the rest of the year, it was because my microphone has
shoot, my audio is not
died.
working. Okay.
This thing won't work. Nothing will work. Good morning.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why StreamYard defaults to something like random every time. Okay.
Yeah. So my happy Christmas to me because I'm gonna need a new one. P.S. No longer works.
My phone. Oh, it doesn't
Yep.
work anymore.
That was what my issue just this now.
I mean, well, congratulations. It's lasted you 4 years or something, right?
It's true. This is our first mic. It should go in like
2018.
a case.
It should go in the Smithsonian, you know?
The Smithsonian of our own closets.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get my other thing ready.
Oh my God, killing me this morning. All right. Apologies, everyone. 2022, my goal is that we're a little bit more put together in the mornings. But
for
listen,
Bosses and Breakfast. I know we'll be kicking off the new year together, so no worries, everybody. I went through the car wash yesterday. Things are gonna just change. Things are changing.
How does the car wash have anything to do with this?
It means like I'm changing the vibe, you know.
Oh, the car wash. Okay, yeah. I thought a cleansing shower might help or something.
So yeah, who knows? I mean, StreamYard could be completely different by the time 2022 rolls around. We'll have new microphones.
We might even just be in person all the time, living our best lives.
Could be, you know.
Could be. Yeah, this is something special this morning. All right. Yeah. I'm really close up on Instagram, but I will get this in here.
I'm really far away, so this works out nicely. It's like I need to bring this chair closer. Okay, you guys, sorry. We're gonna have to do it reach over. Actually, I'll shut this down just in anything unflattering shows up.
Okay, I'm glad you all love how real we are and that you still continue to show up every week.
Okay.
So I think what happens for us in the mornings is that, well, Jennifer, bless her heart, who's by the way on Pacific Standard Time, so she's the only one on time.
I know.
Your headphones are not working.
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, it's over here. That's why. I know. It's hard to be put together. You know what? It's not that hard to be put together because we can record podcast episodes. It's hard to be front facing early in the morning, like throwing on some decent hair, putting on some glasses. I don't know, just like random things,
You're like Clark Kent over there. You just put on the glasses and you're totally different.
And I put on some dry shampoo and a different shirt, and here I am. It's like I'm transformed.
So so I think the thing about the mornings and we are who we are. We're not going to be anyone different than we are. Like you meet us in person, you meet us here. We're pretty much the same. But I think there's a lot, like you said, we have young kids. So we have a lot of things we have to get done in the morning. My kids are actually homeschooled this morning because we traveled, and if we leave the tri-state area, our kids can't go to school for 7 days. And we were in California. So that was like just trying to get my kids online this morning. My husband had an oil change I had to drive him to. I mean, it was a morning. And then we got back and I had about 15 minutes and then realized that this thing didn't work. So bear with us. But here's the thing. It's okay. Like we all have so many things that we're doing.
Especially this time of year. Have you put up your Christmas tree yet?
No, because it's Hanukkah. So we're trying to like let them have Hanukkah for a minute because so many times it crosses over and then my son is going to default to Christmas because it's way more festive. But they're really digging Hanukkah. Like they're reminding me like to light the candle. But I will light the candles, but we'll do it probably this weekend.
We have not put up the Christmas tree yet either, which the kids, I keep pushing it down. They started their advent calendar today though. Mm-hmm. So I got this one that was like it was really cool.
I want to get my advent calendar. Do you have one?
I have one that's like different. Last year I did one where you have to put the stuff in the actual little boxes, and it was, let me tell you, coming up with 25 things was a struggle.
I'm going to go grab mine. Hold on. You keep talking.
Okay. And then I'll grab mine when she comes back. Actually, you know what? We should probably go on Instagram. But we'll do that in a minute. So yeah, Laura, right? My attic chest. Is it Laura? We haven't put up our Christmas tree. Our kids are very excited for it. We have been having amazing weather. So I don't know why I think that weather has to go with it, but just feeling in that festive spirit of doing it. So we've been pushing it off, and I need to get it started. But today they get to start on their advent calendar. They haven't done it yet, but they get to. Like we talked about it this morning. They're running late per usual. It's late start day. And I was like, you have to do it after school because there's like a bunch of stuff. But you show yours, and then I'll be right back because I'm going to go grab mine as well. Hold on. But we should, you know what? Let's get on Instagram first. Okay.
So we can take this S show over there.
Yeah, right. They're missing out.
So Instagram can also realize what a mess we are.
Is last Bosses on Breakfast.
Okay, I'm going to go over.
Well, for 2021.
Morning, Instagram. Happy post Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We are going to actually we're basically going to audit and all of us talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. But first, we're actually sharing our advent calendars with all of you and just kind of touching base and bringing you into the chaos that is Minna and Jacqueline. So hello. All right, I'm going to bring Minna on.
But if it makes you feel any better, thank you everybody for saying that you love how real this is, because this is as real as it gets. Like I feel like there's lots on our plate right now, and same for all of you. So it is personal stuff, business stuff, kids stuff, holiday stuff, like all kinds of crazy stuff. Hey, Instagram. So thank you for your patience, but I will be right back.
And there's honestly a lot happening. So like there's a lot happening on the back end over at the Product Boss. Like there's personal stuff happening. One of our Lauren, who runs our business basically, is getting married next weekend. So we've been sort of like offboarding her for this month to so she could take time to prepare for her wedding, to actually get married, to go on her honeymoon. And then when she gets back, we're kicking off into this whole New Year's launch for all of you. We're going to be supporting you all with like some workshop series, which we're really excited about. So make sure to stick around for that, because starting, I think, the second week of January, we're going to kick off this free workshop series to really support all of you as we're sort of going into 2022. So it's going to be great, but it's chaos, and it is what it is. It's the holiday season. It's chaos, and welcome to our world.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm looking a crazy mess. So you'll have to excuse this whole look right here.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So did you show your advent calendar yet?
No, okay. I was waiting for you. So
Okay.
it's the first day of December. Now it's Hanukkah as well over here in my house. We do Christmaka. So I celebrate Hanukkah. My husband celebrates Christmas. My kids are actually outside telling our nanny all about the menorah and how to light the candles. But for December
Which was
1st,
featured on Holiday Baking Championship. You guys, you have to watch the episode with your kids. It is so good. It's on Hulu, by the way.
What was featured? Hanukkah?
Hanukkah. So they did cakes based off of Hanukkah and the menorah, and it was insanely creative. Like, it was so cool.
We also watch We Love Nailed It over at this house, which is on Netflix, and they always do a Hanukkah episode, so it was really fun. So okay, so this is my advent calendar. It's from Sipping Streams. Actually, I just realized that she put a card on the back, and I didn't even realize it. So I'm glad I didn't give. I bought two. I gave one to Amanda, who's like our house manager nanny, and then one for me. So this is Sipping Streams. She is the northernmost tea shop in the world. She is in our mastermind. It's Jenny and her husband Brian, and so she has sold out of these, and each day is a tea bag. So let's open day one together. And I'll tell
you're gonna do. Your kids don't like doing that perforation, huh?
Well, they're not. This is mommy's. So the tea is, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm not sure which tea this is, but it comes with a tea bag in every one. So you get to try one of her tea. Oh, here's the tea. It's Midnight Sun Herbal Blend. It's caffeine free, and she tells you how to do it. So you get to taste and sample her tea. And then if you love it, go and order it, right? So it's such a genius idea for her tea company. So this is Sipping Streams, and it's Jenny. And Jenny, if you're here, say hello. But it's a little early over in Alaska. So
yeah. And so last year she did it where it was like, I think it was like tins, like actual metal tins, you know. This year she did it where it's like a perforated box, which is so cool. It shows you how creative you all can get. She's a small business in Alaska. I wanted to show mine because I thought it was a very inventive version of an advent calendar too. So as we're coming out of Black Friday, I want you all to think about, like, even next year, Christmas 2022, what you could do to kind of like up level your business.
What year? Are we not in 2020 still?
So this one is called Pancake, the Penguin's Christmas Adventure. And I thought it was so cool. There's different ones, like there's different characters and stuff like that. So this story happens to be about Pancake the Penguin. That's the main character. And so you open it up, and each page is a part of the story. So day one tells one page of the story. You open it up. So you bend this and open it up, and then you create a 3D character of whatever character adds to the story. So you can see on the front, each character, Instagram. Each character, there's like a penguin, a yeti. What is that thingy, that monster called? Abdominal snowman? Abominal?
Abdominal? Got 6-pack abs.
And then like some other characters. So there's his family. Then he finds a gold key. There's all these different things. And then there's trees and stuff like that. So they keep adding to the story. And each day is in addition to the story. So I thought it was so cool because I don't have to come up with the 25 things, and they get to, the story evolves for them with added characters, and you know, I thought it was really cool. So really ingenious. They're called pop-up pals. And so really thinking about that, there's plenty of things that you all could do in the Advent version. Jenny had a certain number of them. I think she had over 100. She sold out super quick.
Mm-hmm.
And
we even had Fairy Tale Yarn last year. She did kits for Hanukkah and Christmas, which is like a yarn company.
And she had like is it called skeins?
Skeins.
Oh my God, my words today. Let's just hope that half of these words are correct. Skeins of yarn inside the advent calendar to whatever color they had to use.
Yeah. So everyone's like, gears are turning. Listen, it's for next year. But one thing that I got, you know, it wasn't small business, but I think it was 2 years ago. My husband bought a L'Occitane. I never know how to say it correctly. Advent calendar for me, and each box had a sample tube of like their, cream, lotion, body gel,
Mhm.
whatever it was, or minis. And so there's something like that, like, because it's cool because it's a sample pack technically, and the person is being able to experience your brand, but then they also will then be able to buy. So here's what Jenny, it wasn't a personal note. It must come on the back of all of them. So
Okay.
it was a printed card, looks like a holiday card. And inside was, I mean, how high tech is she here?
Oh, wow, QR code.
Yeah. So it says the holidays are upon us, time to celebrate. Enjoy your 24 different types of tea this December in eco-friendly compostable tea sachets. Each day makes up to 4 cups of tea, so don't forget to reseat. I hope you're one of the 30 lucky winners that we will be able to grow your own tea plant. You'll find out if you've won tea seeds in the first 7 days of the tea advent calendar. Oh, so
That's
she
so
has
cool.
it's like the golden ticket in the first 7 days. That's awesome. By the way, we would love to hear your thoughts on the tea advent calendar. Could you please fill out the survey? And to learn more about the tea you're drinking, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I mean, genius.
She's in our mastermind. We didn't even know what was happening.
She's just a
We
genius.
I love how she took it an extra layer, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, and Jacqueline and I were talking about this earlier, was Black Friday. So, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's gone. Goodbye. It's happened,
Nah, nah,
right?
nah. Hey, hey. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Right? And so, but the thing is that I would love for all of you to do is to sit down and to kind of write a few sentences about how it went. How much money did you make? How many units of things did you sell? And how did that compare to last year? Okay. So, what I'm going for here is that I really believe that year 3 in any sort of business and any initiative is the year that you get to really scale things. And I believe that for anything, like you'll see it because startup is hard. Startup is when you make a lot of mistakes, you're figuring it out, you're doing it for the first time. Second year, you're kind of iterating, right? You're like, okay, let's feel this out. That's with whatever big project or anything like that. And then third year, you really get to put the pedal to the metal sort of thing. So I want to use Jenny Shea of Sipping Streams as an example. Last year, she did the tins and she was like, ooh, they are into these advent calendars. I remember her specifically doing them for her wholesalers, not because in person was gone. This year, she up leveled it up a notch and she did what Jacqueline showed, which was the perforated ones, and she added to it. And she also tested out on the back a QR code pushing people to the YouTube, her YouTube channel, and also doing like a mystery ticket sort of thing where if they win it, they get seeds to grow their own tea plants. So she's going to figure out how that goes. And then next year is when she gets to figure out, okay, now I know what worked and didn't work. I could really scale the heck out of this. Instead of doing 100 like I did this year, I'm just going to say she did 100. She could do 350 instead, right? So really, really, that's like when you know that you can scale, for other people, and I want to give this example. I don't know, Jacqueline, if you've been reading the multi-stream machine student posts, they're
Mm-mm.
so good. So they're in this thread. I don't know who started all these different threads, but they're doing a comparison to themselves. So instead of comparing to other people, because some people had good years, some people had bad years, some people have a fluke this year, some people have a fluke last year, they're showing what they did last year and what they did this year. And so one of them was like, she had like a really big last year. And she was like, I'm going to throw out some numbers just so you have context. Okay. I don't know if these are accurate. She was like, I made $15,000 last year. And this year I wanted to make $20,000. But instead, I only made $12,000. So she missed it by $8,000, right? And she's like, but here's the thing. I had a lot of family things come up and a lot of emotional and she said like a lot of mental health things that came up. And she's like, I'm so glad that I invested into multi-stream machine because this was in the group, because she said I was able to do that 12,000 with a third of the effort. And she's like, and I'm super happy about that. So here's the thing. That's a different way of looking at scaling. She scaled her effort. So that's how you know if something's successful is scaling is that, okay, first year you do, whatever happens. Second year, you're iterating, you're, kind of tweaking and refining. Third year, you're scaling. Now, if you've had to put in the same amount of effort to get that amount of money, you haven't scaled enough, right? Because you're still having to put in a ton of effort and you're only making the same amount of money. But what she did is that she made a lot of money but less effort, meaning that she scaled her time, she scaled her efforts, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what I want to talk about is you all thinking about how you can take whatever comparison compare to yourself and then scale that. I'm going to give this example. You're not going to like it. Shop 1 and 5. Okay. Shop 1 and 5 has been a heavy lift. Last year, Jacqueline and I did it because we knew 2020 we needed to help small businesses. We threw it up. We did it on Squarespace. We made it happen. It was what it was, and it helps people. This year, we invested a ton of money. We had a developer team put their things in. We had a whole sheet of requests. We had multiple meetings. We had to hire graphic designer, all these different things. We spent like over $100,000. And then we're seeing how it goes. Now, next year, our third year of it, we're going to see if we can scale this sucker. Because honestly, the amount of effort is too much for our team. So we can either is going to be able to scale or it's not going to be able to, right? So this is where I wanted to take the conversation. So does that all make sense to all of you? Jacqueline, what do you think? Like, does it? She knew. Her scared face when I brought up shop 1 and 5.
No, I mean, here's the deal, right? I think all of us need to audit our efforts, right? Like that's what Mina's saying. So we audit our efforts and we look and we balance it out. So, and this is something we teach you in Bestseller Secrets Challenge, which is coming up in early February of next year. So just so all of you mark that in your calendars. But this is what we teach about Bestseller Secrets. So many times we lean into and put our efforts into things that are the things that aren't working as well.
Yeah, or aren't selling.
Or we're auditing the things that aren't working as well. So we're looking at things and we're saying like, this isn't working, or we get hung up on the negatives. I'll tell you, get hung up on the negatives all the time. Thank God for Mina in my life, because she's always like plucking me back out and saying like, hey, but look at this. Hey, look at the positive over here. Okay. But we get hung up on those things because it's easier, right? Where it's easier to criticize ourselves than it is to kind of see the wins, right? I think what Mina's saying about shop 1 and 5 is it is a lot of effort. We love it and it's doing exceptional. And there are so many amazing businesses in there. And our bestseller, our biggest small biz collab, which just concluded yesterday.
So successful.
Incredible. We were featured in Forbes. We were on NBC News. Like
we are in Better Homes and Gardens, by the way, everybody. We haven't even put that feature up, which was like a dream.
Just amazing things have happened around this, right? But it's going to need to be able to carry its own weight for the weight that it is on us as a team.
Some of it's going to have to lift, the effort.
Yeah. And so in order for it to function, it's going to, obviously this is a launch. So if you think about it, or it's a brand new product for all of you, it needs attention. It's like that new baby. Like when you have a baby, you have to give that baby attention, right? They need you to survive. So when you're all starting your businesses in year 1, like that baby needs you to survive. But what your hopes for all of your products and your businesses is that it grows up, right? That it goes to preschool. It can start peeing by itself and or like changing its own, like it could start doing like eating by itself is the word I'm for. And
it's more like having octuplets, because not only do you have a new baby, you have a baby on your shoulders, one on your hip, one dragging your leg down, and there's all these products, like the new product, the new baby that needs attention, but eventually the effort is going to need to be able to scale, because honestly, it's a lot on that mom.
So a lot of you, like in your first year of business, in your first launch of certain things, it's a lot. It's heavy. And someone said that I think it was Amanda Lee said she's going into her third year of business, but it's her first year full time. So I'm going to say when you're full time in your business is kind of where you're going to start to see that momentum. I mean, you've seen the momentum part time, but like when you really step in full time, what can you do with that, right? So if we
Oh, I'm
think,
gonna say she's gonna light the place on fire
I
because
mean,
she's gonna
she's
do amazing.
already,
She did this first year of business with a baby, with a
yeah,
real baby, not a baby that we're like using as an
babies.
analogy. Yeah, we're like baby on the hip, baby on the shoulders, like it's so easy, right? This a real live breathing baby. She did it with, a baby in tow. So
We
she's gonna be the effort on that side will lighten up too, you
we
know.
want you to get your kids to college, right? Like you want your kids to like finally, I mean, even like us having like 8-year-old, 10-year-olds, like that they're fully like they can go get their own water now and feed themselves
Mm-hmm.
technically, right? And then like they go to high school and then they can like get themselves places and then they go to college and our whole, hey Marine, our whole thing as we've been like getting raising these children is to make them adults that can like be self-sufficient and take care of themselves, right? And then you get
Uh-huh.
to just enjoy the fact that you helped raise this human being that is an amazing human being. It's the same idea for your businesses. It's like, can you, it takes a lot of effort in that front end, but our goal for you is that we get that kid sent to elementary school, we get that kid sent to high
Mm-hmm.
school, we get that kid off to college, and we're proud of them that they could live on their own, because as business owners long term, you all will not have to do all of the things, right? So like Mina said, that effort part of it, the like that she maybe made less money, but she didn't have as much effort. I
Yeah.
would say the other thing that we heard in our mastermind recently, we were all auditing our Novembers and how everyone did in sales, and one of our masterminders was like, well, I didn't hit my revenue goal, but I took 3 of the 4 weeks off of work. We're like, well, you were
I know.
you were able, she chose to take 3 of the 4 weeks off of work, and maybe she didn't hit that crazy blow it out of the water goal, but her business still made money, still is paying the bills, she's not in like the negative, she's still fine, and she took that time off. So sometimes, like Mina's saying, like you can't always measure against the revenue, you want to measure against the effort, you want to measure against how your life combines with it. There's
Mhm.
so much here, and I think that's why a lot of you love being here with us, is that we're not all business and we're not all personal. We're not all mom life. It's the idea of like, how can we blend this? Because we all became entrepreneurs for a reason. And I'll tell you one of those reasons, and this is something I've been really thinking through for myself, is for freedom. I wanted
Mhm.
freedom in my world. So what does that freedom allow for me to do? It allows for me to be a class parent, to walk in the mornings and like, and be, and get done when I want to get done with work. And I get to wake up when I want, and I don't have to be at an office. So there's that payoff between entrepreneurship and freedom, and then making that work in the life that you want to create. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think that right now you will get bogged down in the comparison trap. So even when you're comparing to your former self, this is where I was going to bring up Teresa Fox. She, in the multi-stream machine group, she was like, actually, I was feeling really down until I realized last year I made like 200 something and this year I made 800 something. So she treated herself to something little, the Starbucks and the cranberry bliss bar. Sorry, Teresa. I hope that was okay that I shared that. But it made me feel so proud because I was like, she really took out that she grew from last year, right? And it's like it's hard to feel excited about our wins if we're constantly comparing to what we thought we should have done, what other people are doing. And that's where we fall into that trap. So, especially during this time of year, because of all the things that are happening, like me thinking I should already have my Christmas tree up. Or some people cooked their Thanksgiving meals. Get that. Some people bake their own pies. Like we said, bake or buy the pie, you
what
know?
did you do? Who cooked? Your mom?
I brought actually my sister-in-law, she's vegan. So we all did like a potluck thing and
Oh,
she
cool.
made vegan sides. So I made the non-vegan sides. So um but one of the main things I did make for her was like I made this sweet potato with cauliflower and onion. It's delicious. So if you make that mash, it has like perfect consistency. So just do those things together. Make sure that you saute the onions first. Anyways, it's super simple.
Cooking show with the product boss. We should do.
Super simple, but that's all I did, right? And I was okay with it. But I like giving that example because reward yourself even if you feel that it's small, you know? So because you grew and you deserve to be rewarded. Also one of the things, okay, I I got this book. Finally came in the mail. It's so beautiful. I didn't even get to open it up yet. It's Brene Brown's. I pre-ordered this Atlas of the Heart. It came last night. And I'm super, super excited about it. It's one of my treats that I'm giving myself for the holiday season is sitting down with a physical book, which I used to read physical books way back in the day, and just feel like it's just for fun, not for business, not for anything, not for auditing afterwards. It literally is just for fun, So really think about like what you want to go back to for the holiday season and what that treat could be. It doesn't have to be anything grand or big, but it's definitely just rewarding yourself for the growth and comparing you to you, and even being hold loosely to the comparing you to you. Like it's okay. It was just Black Friday. It's not the end all be all.
So let's ask you all, how was Black Friday, Cyber Monday? How were the Cyber Five, or how did you run a promotion? Like, give us a down low on what happened. And as you're kind of entering that into the chat, I'll just speak to we have our mastermind, and that is our highest touch, highest level program to work with. Minna and I were in their businesses. We know them intimately. We have voice messaging with them. Like we know them really well. And this weekend we checked in with them on Small Business Saturday. How is it going? Some people were like, do you need any support? And one, Dome Docs, our masterminder, Dome Docs, was like, yeah, if you guys want to drive to Texas and help us take all of the crates to USPS to ship all of our product.
I did not plan this, but here it is. Actually, I opened one. I'm saving it in here because I need to unbox them. So two birds, one stone, unboxed.
She did it. It's done.
So you put your hat in like this. It's stacked up like this.
They patented this product, and they're amazing. They're amazing. They hit $1 million in their first 10 months of working. We worked with them in their first 10 months. They hit $1 million. They're multi-million-dollar brand in 2 years. They're just incredible. Okay. But so they were doing amazing. And then there were other people in our mastermind group that it just didn't work the way they had expected it. And that's okay. And what we did exactly what Minna said, is instead of comparing against each other, this person needs extra help to bring truckloads to the post office. This person was like, wah, wah, it really didn't perform for whatever the reason. We didn't want them to feel like competitive with each other, but rather exactly what Minna said. Well, how are you doing? How is it against last year? How are you total over this year? What is your revenue at? And when they looked at that, the response was, I've got more revenue than I did last year. I am more profitable, meaning their margins. Like, it doesn't matter what your total revenue is. You really want your margins to be 20, 30, 40% profitable. So when we looked at that and we dug deep, they were able to see when they were comparing against themselves that they were doing a great job. They were up year over year. And some people, actually, one of our $1 million brands in there decided not to run a promotion or a sale because she was like, my business is doing great. I don't need to discount.
And she ran them early. Yeah, she ran them early. So she already had a big month and decided not to do Black Friday because you know what? It wasn't worth it for her to run around with her head like a, I don't know, like feeling over. Yeah. Yes. I was going to say that, but then I was like, I hate that visual. But you all know that feeling, right? So for her, she ran it early. She was okay with it. She decided not to do it. I think that in anything, there's a weighing of things. Do you do it? Do you not do it? So even if even if it's a personal thing, right? So do you decide to run it and go for and then it's easier when you put an amount to it. Do you go for the 5,000 that you really, really want? Or do you spend time with your family and I don't know, not be stressed, and it's not worth the $5,000? Maybe I shouldn't have said 5,000 because that seems like a big amount of money for that weekend. Maybe I'll say $1,000, right? So whatever that looks like for you, it's just numbers. I just don't want that preconceived, big number on there. So you weigh it out and you get to decide whether or not, was it worth it? Was it not? And you sometimes decide that it's not. And sometimes you decide that it is, right? So that's what I love about writing it down, because like in this time, you'll forget how you felt. Like this year has been very emotional. It's been very, I don't know, Like, it feels harder than last year in a lot of different ways. So you will forget all of that, you know? And so writing it down, comparing to the numbers, so that way, year 3, oh, okay, I see that it was either starting to go up in revenue or starting to go down in effort, you know? And so that way, you get to still live the life that you want. Because it's like, just like what Jacqueline said, you got into this for the freedom or to do what you wanted to do. How did you put that piece into the pie when it came to Black Friday?
Yeah. And here's the thing. Overall, I feel like my estimation of what I was really in tune with what sales were happening. I actually went to the mall on Small Business Saturday. I also went to small businesses, but I went to the mall because I was like, I want to see what's happening at the malls. Where are the people? Where are the sales? And I saw that bigger department stores were not running sales. They were not running anything different than their traditional, like just things that were on sale. The things that I saw lines outside of were like Zara and H&M were having sales, which never in my life do I ever want to wait in line. If
Mm-mm.
that, like waiting to get in and then waiting for the counter,
I'd
like
rather pay more money.
I'd rather stab my eyes out and pay more money. People were waiting for that. And then like Adidas had a line outside of it. There were like, think like Aeropostale, like things like that. Like there were a lot of younger people at the mall, to be 100% what I saw in California, or in LA. And then online, I saw a lot of sales extended. So bigger stores were extending sales. So Black Friday was supposed to, or Cyber Monday was ending on Monday, but then I saw Tuesday, I got
But
emails like it's
early, then
extended.
extended. That was the thing.
Yeah,
Early and
they
then
went
extended.
earlier and they went
Mhm.
extended. So the bigger places were just trying, and what I saw was on sale was like, I didn't roll up to Pottery Barn Kids or American Girl. Those are two places I've been like really looking at lately. So that's why I keep bringing them up. But they didn't have, it wasn't a store wide clearance. It was like either, I think American Girl had, you spend X amount, you get X amount off. And it wasn't on their dolls. You could not get discounts on their dolls. So it was like the little products. Pottery Barn
I
Kids, it
mean,
was
why
not,
would they discount their bestsellers, right?
they don't
No
need
need.
to. Yeah.
No need.
Also Pottery Barn Kids and stuff like that. It wasn't like blowout clearance on all furniture. It wasn't 20% off of everything. It was still the holiday sale or things that they wanted to get rid of that they've been sitting on for a while because they want to clear through inventory. So that's a really big thing that we talked a lot about in our masterminds too, was like Brooke of Be Happy Designs had this, and she's here. She had this realization that she messaged us about because she's in the mastermind, was like, she sells hats and this is her season. So why, to drive sales, should she be running, a sale on hats when it's like you can sell hats in the winter? It's harder to sell hats in the summer. So
Mhm.
as we're going through this, and that's a big question that comes up when we do Rock Your Holiday Promotions Challenge, should I discount? You don't need to discount all the time. You can if you need to drive sales. Black Friday is to drive sales, but it's promotional. It's what are you getting? How are people coming to you and thinking, I want to buy from you for the holiday season? I want to buy from you to decorate my house, to gift, to do something like that. And what I saw in terms of when we're comparing and saying it was good for some people and not good for others, people emailed, they warmed their audience up, they hit them at the right times. It was what people were looking for in terms of giftables. A lot of people ran their sales earlier so they didn't have to compete with this like everyone and all the holidays and family and getting to the mall and all the things this weekend. They actually ran it a bit earlier. So I'd love for you all to just audit how it went for yourselves. And next year's going to be different. Who knows where we're going to be in 2022, but let's audit it together and then think, okay, next year what can you pull from this time that it either worked or it didn't work? Right? What can you
Mhm.
pull from this and bring forward?
And
But again,
liked and didn't like.
yeah,
That's the
right.
other thing.
Yeah. A couple of people, and that comparing to others is really hard. I agree with all of you. It's really hard to not feel like you're in a chase against someone else. But I want you to always just come back to yourself. Can you find things that you've improved upon? Right? Were you able to enjoy your pumpkin pie? That was Rock Your Holiday Promotions promised to all of you. We're like, we want you to have your promotions set to sale and that you can enjoy your pumpkin pie as your business is running. So I guess for any of you that were in the challenge, did you feel more prepared this season? Did you feel
Yeah.
like you could enjoy the holiday a bit more because you had done the work? up until
There
that
was
point?
so many comments about that. Even in the mastermind, not mastermind, multi-stream machine, Teresa just said it. A whole bunch of people were really, really thankful for Rock Your Holiday promotions because of that, right? So they were able to grow. And just goes to show you how preparation and really thinking about those things, what worked, what didn't work, what you liked, what you didn't like. And then you get to build it how you want to build it, So and this year was a lot more challenges, just like last year. So I'm hoping next year will be different challenges,
Yeah.
right?
We're getting a lot of yes, 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 very prepared, no sweating to get orders out. Um, I did feel more prepared. I had a schedule and stuck to it. We do rock your holiday promotions every single year. So I think no matter, you can do it as many times as you want with us, like every year, because it's just a time that you block out in your calendar to do it. So the promotions part and the sale part and you all see the gaps in your business, right? Can you all see that? Some of you are saying like, somebody said, I've doubled my email list, right? Which is
I
incredible.
love that.
They said it's only 100 people, but you doubled it. Like we gotta, you everyone starts at zero. So let's just keep
Mm.
going down that road, right? Like this time next year, where are you going to be? So I think a lot of you can see where the holes and gaps are. Maybe you didn't send emails. Maybe you don't have a lot of people on your email list. So while you sold, oh, I don't know if you're, did I bring this up in Bosses and Breakfast about the client that I had talking to her about the emails and about sending emails and how many percentage of openings? Okay,
I
real
don't think
quick.
so.
One of my
Mhm.
one-on-one clients has a very small email list. She has 500 people on her list. She never emails, even though she works one-on-one with me. And as many times as I could tell her, she never emails. But I built out this whole email system. I took her. Oh, I did. I went through Rock Your Holiday Promotions one-on-one with her
Oh yeah, that's the one.
last week. And then I set up her whole email schedule because this is one-on-one work. Okay. She pays a lot of money to work with me directly. And I was like, you have 500 people on your list. If let's say 20% is your open rate and this many people open, you could make 1 to 3 sales if you send out emails. Guess how many sales she made? 3
Oh,
for $3,000 of revenue. And she never sends out emails. She sells expensive products, but I was just like, look at that. You made, it was all numbers. I was able to tell her down to how many people on your list, what is your open rate, and
which
what
I
the
would have guessed one because if she doesn't email them, it's more towards the one than it
yeah,
is the three,
yeah. And she also got traffic. People also, she tracked where they came in from, and she was on a blog. And actually, a celebrity ended up buying from her. The owner of Sprinkles.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. The
I was
cupcake
like,
company.
yes, I mean, we should
Yeah.
get her on the podcast. I send her a letter. No.
Mhm.
So she ended up, so the thing is I was like, look at what happens when you actually take action. So it doesn't matter whether you have 100 people on your list, 500 people on your list, 50,000 people. It really, you all can start projecting this in terms of numbers. Like we're able to actually work it back. And I was able to say, you're going to make 1 to 3 sales. She made 3 sales. So I want you to look at your email list. Does it need to grow? What efforts are you going to put in? Were you showing up on social media? Social media this weekend sucked. It just did. The algorithm was down for so many people. So it's like you can't
Mhm.
just go directly there. Were you getting press in other places? Where are people mentioning you? Where are other people talking about you? All of this is stuff we talk about in multi-stream machine. And so I just want you to all to kind of audit and see those gaps. And that's where you can improve because your product is great, right? You guys are working with us. You're listening to these podcasts, you're showing up live, you're in our courses, you're in our masterminds. There's things you can always improve, but a lot of it is who are you selling to? What community, like how do they know you exist? And I think that's something for all of you to really like start to dig into for the next year.
Yeah, and even, beyond the things that are working, it's so you took action, you wanna keep taking action, you wanna write down the action you took and the result of it. So as you get further in your business, like our masterminders, then it becomes about select action, strategic action. So you only have a limited amount of effort, where are you going to put it? You have a limited amount of money, where are you gonna put it? That sort of thing. So I think that as you keep growing, just keep logging what those efforts look like because it will be really helpful, because then you can get it out of your brain and then you can move forward from it. Um, there was a lot of, I know social media was really down for a lot of people, but there's different things that you could try. One of the things that, especially when people are in startup, they skipped a step of research. And if you take the approach of researcher or student with anything, the way that you would do that with social media would be like, you could go out and find people that right now are showing up a lot on social media. You could see what hashtags people are using during the holidays on social media. You could see the type of ads that people are doing for social media, screenshot all of them. You could create a folder that has like a bunch of emails that people do specifically for the holidays, you know? So you really pick out your favorites. So come December 2022, you'll have already put in the research and already know that, okay, these are the things that really stuck out for me that I can just jump right in, and 40% of the strategy is done already, you know?
Mhm. All right. So Jessica brought this up. I'm just going to show it over here. I have nobody on my list yet, but I've been starting to send emails to nobody just to get into the habit. And I
I love
figure that
that.
nobody will see my bad emails. By the time I get people on there, I might be good at writing them. Okay. Jessica, my friend.
Mhm.
One, it's not a bad email. And if you follow e-commerce sites, or if you follow e-commerce, if you subscribe to other people's lists, you can see how simple it is to just lean into promoting a product. So the other thing that with this client yesterday, she wants to sell robes. She has a lot of robes. She's got excess of robes. This is what I posted yesterday on Instagram, and she wants to sell them. That's the thing she has a lot of. I was like, do you talk about them? Do you post about them? Do you email them? Do you let your customers know that that is something you want to sell? And so that's what you all have to think about when you approach your emails too, is like, are you sending an email around a product that you're trying to push to sell? So I want to know from Jessica and someone else who says I don't have an email list, and I love Diana already jumped ahead and said, I will join your email list and can practice on me. Send me the link. My friends that don't have an email list yet, how do we join your email list? Let us know. There are 86 people watching right now on Facebook. People can join. It could be 5 to 10, and they're warm and they're friendly, right? And
Mhm.
then you can start to send it. You all have each other. We're all consumers. So let's start with each other, with supporting each other. That's what Shop 1 and 5 is about. That's what the directory is about. It's initially started with our community of buying from each other and supporting each other and following each other, right? So
Mhm.
let's start that. And anyone that says I don't have an email list, my question is are you collecting emails? Do you have a
Are you
pop-up
pushing it?
where
Yeah.
do you have any sort of system set up for that? If you're in MSM, please go learn how to do that. We have a whole email bonus that we just gave all of you, but you have to start.
Mhm.
It's just a thought. It's just a dream unless you take action on this. So please start to take action on this. If nothing else, if you're not going to make another sale this entire year, make it a goal of an email a day. Can we do 7 emails over the next 7 days? Like, what can you do? It's not that hard.
Mhm.
Um,
Right. And the thing is too, so I want you all to really listen to this. The benefit of having an email is that you have attracted the right people. So I'm going to give the example of Alfred. He put in creekroadpottery.com/newsletter. So let's say he gets an influx of 50 people. Now Alfred's thinking, oh my gosh, I have 50 people. I've reached this milestone. That's so amazing. But again, that's a vanity number. You want people to drop off, whether or not they're supporters or not. They have to like his style of pottery. They have to be willing to buy in the future, not wanting to bog down his list for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, be okay with the fact that you're nurturing those people and that they're the right people. So as much as it means attracting people, it means repelling the wrong people as well. And that is part of it as well. You know, so there will be it will kind of flux, right? So your list will grow, it will dwindle down, it will grow, it will dwindle down, and it will just kind of keep going like that. Whenever we lose, whenever we send out an email for the product boss, they're good emails, we lose 100 subscribers.
how many of
Sometimes
you
it's
have
only
unsubscribed?
60. You better
No,
not
really.
have.
I want
No,
to know if
just kidding.
anyone, no, I actually want to know out of the people watching here, have you unsubscribed to our emails? Please be 100% honest. There's a point I want to make. So if you have unsubscribed, let us know. Okay. And I'm not mad at you at all. I just want to know
Yeah,
if you
we
have.
get anywhere from 60 to 100, and it's fine, you know?
Because here's the thing, okay? Mindy says, I swear it wasn't me.
I will go look through those email listings.
Mindy
No,
gets so many emails from us.
just kidding. It like
But
shows like so many.
here's what I want to say though. If any of you had the guts to tell us that I have, but only because I accidentally signed up on 2 accounts. Okay, but let's just say you did unsubscribe because you were getting too many emails. And this was not the season that you wanted to get our emails. Okay, let's just say that was you. If that's the case, you may still be here on social media with us, right? Yeah. You may still be following us on Instagram. You were probably still listening to the podcast. You may find us on other people's podcasts. So it's the same idea of multi-stream machine. It's the idea of being in multiple places so that, because it's not just one stream of visibility or one stream of sales, it's multiple places that you show up.
Multiple touch points, you're reinforcing those things. So as we're reinforcing showing up for all of you.
Yeah. Elaine says, I did a couple years ago, but I wasn't ready. Now I love your emails and appreciate you guys so much. Elaine, I love you. Thank you for saying that, because here's what I want to say about Elaine. A couple of years ago, she unsubscribed. Guess what? Elaine resubscribed and is on Bosses and Breakfast, wasting an hour with us.
No, learning a lot. She's like scribbling notes, probably. Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is, what I want you all to know, though, is that it's okay, right? Elaine, thank you for being honest here, because that's what we want you all to realize, that emails, because that's the other thing that my client said to me yesterday. She's like, I only sent 3. I gave her an entire plan. Let me just tell you. She's not up watching this. But I gave her an entire plan and she sent 3. She still yielded 3 sales, but she was afraid. She pulled back because she was like, I don't want people to unsubscribe. But the thing is that if you don't pop into their inbox, if you're not showing up where they are, if you're not on shelves at boutiques that they shop at, if influencers aren't talking about you, if you're not all over the place, they're going to forget about you. So I guess I just want you all to just realize is that like, it's okay for, like Minna said, it's okay for them to unsubscribe. We want the people that stay on your list.
They will. Yeah. And be prepared for it. So don't feel like I want to add 50 people. I hit 50 and now feels so good. Be prepared that you'll have unsubscribes too. And that's what you want. You want the really loyal ones, So as we're, showing up on Bosses and Breakfast, for example, what if we had used that mentality, right? Because I know that I don't love showing up on video. I know that my voice, when we first started doing the podcast, I would cringe listening to my own voice. What if we had used that mentality? I don't want to bug people. I don't want to bug people by showing up on Facebook and them having to watch me haphazardly put together
try and figure out how to use microphones,
an intricate system of software and technology,
2 earbuds, a phone and a computer.
Yeah. So what if we had thought that, right? What if they don't like the way I look? What if they don't like the way I speak? What if they're bothered this morning and it feels like an inconvenient time? What if we had used the mentality, but you just have to move forward, because odds are they'll just not watch. And that's okay. You're not meant for everybody. And that's what you want to know and understand. And sometimes you're not meant for somebody in that season. So here's the thing. For Elaine, was it? There's times when you might be more open, or you're in a season of your life where you're more receptive, or you're in a season of your life where you hear things differently. That's why a lot of times people will listen to our podcast to see if they want us to coach them, because we say similar things to other coaches. We just say it in a different way, and we know different knowledge, and it feels different. And sometimes you catch things differently. So while you may think that, they don't like this or they don't love this, people have a different season they're in where they're more receptive, or they prefer audio, or they prefer reading something, or they prefer, it just depends what mood. There's times when I couldn't pick up a book to save my life and read it because I'm so mentally exhausted, right? There's other times that I'm like, I order books and I'm just like, I really am excited for this, So it just depends.
Even podcasts, like there's times that I will listen to all the business podcasts and be like wanting to consume everything. And then I'm like, I need to check out and listen to something else, right? So I think, here's the deal for all of you. If you were a bigger business and you had a team and you had somebody who was in charge of your emails and in charge of the emails that went out and in charge of the subscribers and all that, and that was their job, you wouldn't feel like it was so personal. But right now, because most of you are running everything in your business and you're writing them and you are the everything in your business, everything feels personal. It feels like a personal thing of you. It feels like maybe you're not doing enough. You're not, someone said I'm crap at writing emails. You're not crap at writing emails. You're learning. Like we are learning. We're all learning, right? Like how can we ever, we want to we're running this, a lot of you, you're going to get an email from us. We're running this path, this proven path to $1 million. Okay. It's going to be this free masterclass for anyone making over $250,000 and more. And we talk about the steps that you take to get there. You were a $10,000 business that jumped to a $50,000, that jumped to $250,000, that jumped to $750,000, that jumped to $1 million business. Unless you've had other businesses in the past that were the exact same, we are all learning at every revenue level. We are all learning with different team members and what kind of team structure we have to build. So as soon as you can remove yourself from the personal part of this, it has nothing to do with you. You are not crap at writing emails. You are learning, and you just see that as a gauge to get better at it. Right? Like it's all we're doing is a gauge to get better. And another thing that I want to say to you really fast as we're wrapping this up is that's Minna's book for the season. Mine, I'm listening on Audible to Mel Robbins, The High Five Habit. Minna did the challenge, dropped off on day 3. I haven't even high-fived myself since
Which
starting.
that statistic, when we first started getting to free challenges, the statistic was people will drop off at day 3. And I was like, okay, push harder on day 3 to get them, encourage them to keep going. Well, what happened as I'm taking somebody else's challenge? Dropped off on day 3.
And I'm listening to the book, and I'm not high-fiving myself in the morning, but I am having like the craziest like breakthroughs. And it may not happen for all of you, but for whatever, it's Small Cup Designs says Mel personally, okay, hi, we need to talk. Can you get her on the podcast and make her be my best friend? But other than that, no. So one of the things she talks about in the book, and I might be getting this wrong, so if anyone remembers, but jealousy. She's like, when we're jealous of other people, a lot of times it's actually just reflecting back to ourselves of like actually like a gauge or like your north, like your compass. And if you're jealous of something that someone else is doing, it's actually just a place for you to look at to take action. So if you're jealous of someone else making more revenue and you're looking at that and you're like, God, they have this business and I don't, well, then it's just a gauge for you to say, okay, well, how can I take action? Because it's actually proving to you that's where you want to go. That's the direction you want to go in. That is a dream that you have for yourself. So then you start taking action against that. So if you think that, I'm jealous, this person sends really good emails and I feel like I don't, keep that as a gauge to say, well, let me go learn how to do better emails, right? Or to improve my emails and to really measure against myself. How do I get better open rates? How do I see if I can get conversions from that? So I think from those 2 books, repeat your book again, because we're not going to be with you for 2 weeks.
This just released. Atlas of the Heart by Brene Brown. It's her newest one. It's really about, let me read it to you. She maps the necessary skills and an actionable framework for meaningful connection. So it's all about how you connect in the world. And I kind of flipped through it last night. I didn't want to dig into it until I had the right state of mind. So that's what I'm saying too, is that sometimes you're just in the right state of mind and sometimes you aren't. I do want to bring up really quick as we're wrapping up the proven path to $1 million business. So you're all going to see those emails. And I actually wrote those emails. And at the beginning part, it said, keep reading this if you're 250 and above. And when I first started initially writing it, I felt a little bit bad because I felt like I wasn't including the people that were less than 250. So I wrote something like, if you're not there yet, we're here for you. This is simply something that we're doing because we're trying to group 250 and above into our mastermind. That literally is what it is. It has nothing to do with you at all. So you keep growing, you keep doing you, and you will eventually get there, right? So I want you to think about like what Jacqueline had said, the jealousy thing. So if somebody reads that and they approach it from a way of jealousy, then they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're not including me. I wish I was there. And then you can do, I wish and I will get there, or I wish I could be there and they're not including me. Right. So I want you to really think about the seasons of your thinking, it's just not meant for you right now, but it will be meant for you at some other time. Right. Because we are actually coming out with other programs in 2022. I keep knocking on wood because it's like, who knows? Right.
Which part is who knows? We'll get there.
The startup, not the startup, the new course.
We're launching a new course for all of you, which we're going to be really excited next year.
Yeah. So right now, though, we're looking for our masterminder or a mastermind specifically for 250 all the way up to multiple millions. Now, this just happens to be the time we're doing it and the season that those people are in that is for them. So I want you all to think about that as you're like, approaching things or you're seeing things, and you might feel that, a little bit jealous tinge. We're all human. We all feel this way, but just know that it's not for me right now, or it's not my season, or whatever it is, and you just get there. You're fine with what you're doing. Just keep going at it.
Mhm. Someone said, I think I stopped reading after the money, not there yet. Yeah. And that was the point of that email. So the point of that email was, if you are here, self-identify. If you're here, keep reading. If you are
Mhm.
not, don't worry about it. We got you in other ways, right?
Yeah, right. We have other things coming out.
Yeah. And that's a segmentation, right? That's like looking at our list and saying, like, are you shopping for men or women? Right? Are
Mhm.
you looking for kids skirts or boys shirts? Like you can segment in your own emails, and it's not exclusion, but it's rather trying to hone in on the customer that you're trying to get to buy whatever you're trying to sell, right? So if any of you, so I guess to wrap this conversation is, if you can compare against yourself instead of looking outside of yourself and comparing against others, based on Mel Robbins' book, which is The High Five Habit, which is the one I'm reading right now, she says jealousy is a way to gauge where you want to be going, like what direction, like it
Mhm.
helps create a path for you.
Yeah, you feel
So
pulled towards it.
yeah,
Also, compare your business to your business from previous, not yourself to yourself. You are not your business. Like, don't tie your entire identity to the fact that you're your business. It's like your business is your child that you're trying to grow up to sustain to be its own. I used to get that mixed up when I first started business. I always thought I will be my business. I am my business. My business is everything. But really, you want your business, and it's like a child, but you want your child to be sustainable. You want to be able to go on vacation. You want to eventually have a team that builds that up and has its own bank account, right? Your own account, right? So,
you don't want
you
them
know,
moving back to the basement and you making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Like we want our kids
I
to invite
feel I
us
feel,
over for dinner.
but yet you feel torn about it, cuz sometimes I like, yes, never
Stay in the
leave.
basement forever. So here's so the thing for all of you is that look to yourself, find the places that you maybe saw the gaps or the holes, and think, audit it now. Now is the
Yeah.
time, not 2 weeks from now, not 3 months from now. Like audit now, because if you audit now, then it will just be more in your brain, right? You'll have
Yeah.
it somewhere. You can come back to it next year. You can look to it and say, like, where do I need to improve? It's okay. You are all on a journey. You are all learning. You are all building. You're all getting better at what you do. Okay.
Mhm.
No, none of us woke up geniuses that could walk. Like we didn't wake up walking. We weren't born walking. We had to learn to
Mhm.
walk.
I didn't learn to walk till I was 18 months. Did you know that?
No, you're
That's
so
like
advanced
real.
though. But you did college in 3 years.
It was
So
because my head was very large, my feet were very tiny.
like this.
So, I mean, who could do that? Nobody.
But like
Nobody.
but what I want to say, okay, so Mina is just a perfect example of all things. Just go back to Mina in your brain. But the thing is like, and this is Mel talks about this too, but she's like, children don't criticize themselves as they're learning how to walk. They
Yeah.
just get up and they do it again, and they get up and do it again, and they get up and do it again until they learn to walk. For all of us, we criticize ourselves if we don't know how to do something the first time, right? Like there's so much on ourselves that we are critical of, and I'm not gonna, the Mel Robbins is a genius, I gotta be honest. So I want you all to just give yourself this grace during this time. Enjoy this time with your families. We are going to do the same for us. We're going to kick back off in the new year with an entire workshop series for all of you that is really going to kick off the new year. Then we're jumping into our bestseller secrets challenge in February, which is really going to help you with your bestsellers. So stick with us, stay on our email list. We won't be
Mhm.
doing bosses and breakfast for the next couple of weeks till the new year, but that's for us to refresh and for us to like really just bring all that we can to you in 2022. We're still
Mhm.
on Instagram.
Which this will happen for the next one. I set this aside. For the new year, we shall be doing a confetti thing.
Are you sending me
Happiness for the new year.
or I
I
have
don't
to
have
buy
an
it
extra
myself?
one.
Jennifer, can you send me
Maybe we'll be
I need a new
together.
microphone and a confetti popper.
Maybe we'll be together. But I found this because I rearranged my office and I was like, you know what? We're saving that for Bosses and Breakfast
And we have to go do that
2022.
like at a hotel where we don't have to clean it up. That's
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
and leave a big tip at the end. All right. So yeah, so for all of you, just stay with us. Please support Shop One and Five. Go shop from there if you're still shopping for like gifts for everyone. Please keep telling everybody about Shop One and Five and the Small Business Shopping Directory. Stick with us on Instagram. Engage with us. DM us. Keep an eye on your inboxes. There's lots of fun things coming up for you, and we're so excited to just support you in the new year too. So happy holidays, my friends.
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for being on with us. We'll see you on those other places.
Bye.